Good morning. It's E from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com. About 20 after 9 on Monday, the 11th of March, 2019. And reminding traders to use risk capital that you can afford to lose. This is a risky business. It's a strange business. And truthfully, nobody knows exactly where we're going, but we can try to come up with some ideas. So the best posture to take is defense, using risk capital that you can afford to lose if you're going to play this game. Angels and Demons. 43.5, 58.5, middle 51. Quick review of a few important charts. Last night, you know that if you were watching my posts, I had suggested make sure you are paid by this 42 area, 43 to 41. Looked to me like this was our middle from Friday. So we wanted to be paid by that middle if we were short. And conversely, it's an aggressive area to buy. To come back in and fill for the gap, 52s. And we can see that we've chugged up all night long. And I posted, let's use 62.5 to 65 as our next resistance zone. So if you want to short and the timing is right, then you can use that area as your resistance and try to nibble back against today's push. And I posted earlier, I don't think the high is in yet. And probably it's still not in yet. I'm still thinking we can get up a little bit higher. But let's take a look at a few charts. Either way, you should be, and I posted, I think we'll be fairly soft in here until the open, so don't think big. So basis this chart, we had posted the idea of 56.75 is the high from Friday, and above that we're looking into new territory, and below it we're coming back in and we're doing a regression trade. So anybody that's had themselves a good push long side should be taking profits ahead of the open. That's my belief. Fif 15-minute Globex. And you can see my idea of a retest up here. That's the resistance zone for now. And we can see how this has basically held this blue line all night long. So shorts really need to get it back under this 52 and keep it coming this way. I think two-way day, but certainly a momentum trade from the longs. And it's a lot easier to squeeze overnight in low volume. So I'm looking at this as two-way day, slight edge to the longs because they held last night down here, but you don't want to get too aggressive long side either. We've had a pretty good sell-off, and obviously anything can happen, but I think I want to take a more neutral stance, hit and run. Try to grab a couple here and there, and don't look for any big position trade right now. I just think it's a better way to play. Now let's take a look at the weekly. Here's last week's range, and you can see why I think this next core area is the potential resistance zone. Longs are going to try to knock out this high back here, that 65 area. You know, that's just the way the market moves. Try to knock out the other guys, you know, score a few runs on them, push them back, and then give back a bit. Push them and give back. So we have the W. We have another W forming. And truthfully, this could abort any time and give a good solid trade short side. So don't fall in love with the long side. I do think it'll be two-way day. And I think we're nearing the resistance zone for now, based on this chart. So we're into the pipe zone, and that's why I'm using 62 to 65 resistance. They beat it, then we got to move the whole field back. And this was a chart that we had looked at. Your dad suggested that let's take a look at one below us and the one above us, and this in the monthly frame is what we're looking at. And you can see basis this chart where this would be a retest. So what's the highest we can go today? Hey, we can go to any high, but for sure, I want to start to think much more conservatively as we approach 62 to say 68 max. And once we're rocking and rolling a momentum trade, we can slice through anything in this big bar. But I'm looking at this area right in here, and let me just put the line there. So there's no doubt where I'm pointing to. It's been squirrely lately, and I'm not sure why it's overreacting, but it is. Right in here. That's a retest zone right there. Anyways, I think that's an important area going forward. So support box, you can see why I like that 37.5 support last night. Got to get above the 51s, and if you do, then it puts that 63.5 into play. So that's the chart I'm looking at right now to help give us some sense of balance where we are. And that's a monthly chart. Now, this was a chart I had posted. I said, this is the only chart that we really need right now because it encompasses a lot of information. And you can see I'm using the high at the 82 area and I'm using low at 26. So I'm just saying, look, within the last 2 days, we've got to resolve that range before anything else. So that's my posture and that's my thinking. And that's why the 61, 62 area first, and this 68 area becomes the next resistance retest zone that we were just pointing out. And on the short side, you can see this 40 area, how that was an important area. That was the middle of the range on Friday. So, right now we're exploring in a 2-day range, we're exploring the pipe from, say, this 48 to 62. And it puts that 54 right in the middle. Anybody that's short side, reminder, we've got the couple of gaps in this neighborhood. Great trade if you took it. It is a timing trade. Think scalp. Think lucky to get back to 52s, 53s. So we want to also pay attention to this measure, which is from the low on Friday to today's high, so that we can see proportions coming back this way as well. And if we make new highs today, then we'll stretch this range up and keep the measure going. Important chart. Very, very important chart to me. 5 RTH will be opening up in a minute. And this is the look. And as you can see, over and under the rain line today is a distinct possibility. We'll keep an eye on this chart today. And a reminder, this is the box currently that we are in on the bigger frame, on the yearly frame. We held down here on Friday and we bounced, but we're still in this box. So we can see the frame that going forward for the next day or so, very important. And you can see that high I've referenced and this low encompassing this box. Interesting where we have opened right near yesterday's high, Friday's high. We've got shorts on the hook. We can squeeze them a bit. And I still think marginal highs, maybe whack-a-mole. If we get a blast off, that would surprise me. I think we are in a little squeeze mode right here. And if you're a conservative trader and you don't like the edge right in here, don't do anything. Just relax. And a reminder to the longs that we've had a pretty good push. Got a big vacuum back here that I'd like to see get filled. If not this morning, maybe later, even overnight. But for now, the most important thing is identifying our squeeze pivots and where this is coming from. So right there is what I'm seeing as our squeeze pivots. And we've got a couple of gaps up here in this neighborhood. There was a gap at 55. And then obviously this gap back here at the 52. So in my opinion, this is being used to squeeze a bit for stop out some shorts before they come back. And these are bot type trades. Anybody's buying high up here. So any new highs, be very careful. Longs could be totally wrong. This thing could just rocket, but I was thinking just squeeze inch by inch. Maybe get to 61 target. And if you're a conservative trader, don't like this open, then stay sidelines for a bit. Goal of the boys today is, in my opinion, would try to get to that 65 if they can. I just think right now it's a stretch. I think they need to do some backing and filling, and well, what do I know? Because these traders were trapped at the end of the day and are now being squeezed. One more tick for that 61 target. I said it looked to me like they wanted. Hardest trades in the book are to buy high, sell higher, unless you're a bot. All right, that should end the pre-market idea. I've suggested to you 62 and a half to 65 as our resistance zone. If that gets beat, don't be stubborn. This may be one of those days where the second mouse gets the cheese. And we're going to use 52 as squeeze pivot for now until broken. Moved it up all the way from that 37 and a half.